And just like crap, it's back. Carrie and the girls who can still stand to be around her are off to the Met Gala this week because apparently they'll let anyone in these days. Pull up a stool for your purse, drop a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're already scraping the bottom of the barrel for storylines this season. Say what you want about Sex and the City, but at least most episodes had some sort of coherent point. This bollocks just meanders. At podcast producer and current penis provider Franklin's encouragement, Carrie tries poaching some eggs. This is part of a brief effort to revisit some of the skills she never bothered to learn in her 30s. Based on what she did in last season's premiere, I would have suggested a first aid course, but we are where we are. Don't you worry about her developing too much though, because she has to use her laptop to set a 3-minute timer, instead of on her phone, like a normal person. Carrie later reveals to Charlotte that her arrangement with Franklin is strictly casual. Their once-per-week orgie de tristesse only extends as far as watching a cookery show and then having him check her internal temperature with his meat thermometer. Franklin, who scores a 9 for looks but a -1000 for common sense, does try to move their relationship forward with an invite to a rooftop bourbon launch, but Carrie turns him down. They both seem to take it well, but this is Carrie Bradshaw we're talking about. A man showing emotional vulnerability within 10 blocks of her might as well be revealing that he has tentacles instead of nipples. Expect it not to last. There's no time to dwell on that though, because Carrie and co are off to the Met Gala. For some absolutely bizarre reason, she trusts ex-podcast co-host Jackie's wife Smoke to make her dress for the occasion. And nothing speaks more to a designer's glamour credentials than them showing up to your apartment wearing a fisherman's net they found down at the docks. Smoke's contribution to this year's theme, Veiled Beauty, looks like a bedspread I once owned, and includes a cape. But no veil. Maybe she got her name after being trapped in a house fire for just too long as a child. The outfit is, accordingly, an unfinished disaster. Instead, Carrie whips out her old wedding dress and teams it with Smoke's cape, because I guess Big Stench had to be on this somewhere. She makes an offhand comment about how she's repurposing her pain, but we don't get long to dwell on that before one of the jump scare cuts which the editors of this series seem to consider their trademark. And the cape just so happens to be a perfect colour match for the headpiece she wore to her not wedding 15 years earlier. They aren't even trying anymore. Miranda, who last season moved to California with new partner Che, tries to improve herself this week, which lasts literally minutes before she's flopping out of a sensory deprivation tank stark bollock naked like someone just ejected her from the Matrix. Elsewhere, Che's super relatable drama is that the costume department of their TV pilot wants them to wear a sparkly blazer. They say it screams,
"Hey America, I'm non-binary!"
But to me, it screams, "Hi, I found this in Jimmy Savile's bin." To make matters even more mid, writer BD, who themselves dresses like someone doing ropey Joker cosplay at an off-brand Comic-Con, wants them to have matching blue hair streaks. Because apparently it's the 90s again. However, costumes are the least of Che's concerns. Because based on the brief snippet of their Comedy Store set we see, the only TV show I'd be recruiting them for is Squid Game. Not that their peers fare much better, with the evening's host asking,
"Out here in LA filming their TV pilot? Hey Che, any part for a white guy?"
Which is also a joke, apparently. I think I've had funnier experiences sitting on my own balls. We're then treated to a deeply, deeply upsetting and punishingly long scene where Miranda tries to strap herself into some complicated looking bedroom apparatus at Che's insistence. It seems the writers heard that people thought season 1 was light on sexy times, and so have decided to teach us a lesson by inflicting as much of it on us as they can get away with. Lucky us. Mercifully, it's all cut short by Miranda getting the wrong end of the stick and convincing herself that their relationship is only about sex. I can't imagine what gave her that impression. Maybe the fact that the only thing we've seen that they have in common is a shared interest in each other's blowholes. Che is forced to reveal that the issue is actually body image, since their TV show has put them on a diet at the earlier wardrobe fitting. Which is rich, considering who else was in the room at the time, but I digress. After a bit of ego stroking from Miranda, Che throws caution to the wind and their face into a pizza. Which, in terms of fragile mentality, puts them about on the same level as appeasing a 5-year-old with a trip to Chuck E. Cheese. Feels right to me. This week in Who Gives a Shit news, Lisa's busy. And she makes documentaries. Did you know? Did you? You should, because the show's made it her one and only personality trait. Well, that and her highly scheduled attitude towards cunnilingus. Seema discovers that Lothario and definite mobster Zed still lives with his ex-wife, which is enough to send her running for the hills. I'd be more concerned with how he's a massive w***er, to be honest, but to each their own. Naya, sort of separated from musician husband Andre, flirts with CSI Warwick Brown at a bar. Then she drunkenly sort of dumps said husband after discovering that he's hanging out in a hotel room with fellow musician Heidi, who appears to be a dual tribute act. A cautionary tale about taking Miranda's advice there. Have you been wondering what Charlotte's tits look like these days? Well, you're in luck, because you're going to find out whether you like it or not. Mrs. York Goldenblatt's non-issue this week is that her plans to bring Anthony as her date to the Met Gala are temporarily thwarted by husband Harry's unexpected desire to go instead. Harry's super into the idea of wearing a top hat, which after 20 years of being married to Charlotte, I'd probably consider the highlight of my month too. He also wants to meet Rihanna for some reason, perhaps hoping that she'll take pity on him and run him over with her limo on the way out. On the big day, Charlotte enlists kids Lily and Rock to break a few of her ribs, getting her into a corset, which leads Rock to exclaim,
"I won't be party to upholding the patriarchy and the heteronormative standards of beauty."
F***ing hell, we get it, Rock. Sit the next few out. It isn't until Charlotte and Harry are about to leave their building that he remembers that he actually hates formal events. Or he caught sight of his reflection and realised that he accidentally dressed like an undertaker. And that his wife dressed like she got ready in the dark before an audition for Moulin Rouge. That's when Anthony is summoned from a pity party of fiddle-faddle to accompany Charlotte after all. And let that be a lesson to all of you. Never take a straight man to the Met Gala. Take a gay man who will actually appreciate it. And just for the record, not that it wasn't the case last season too, but on this go-round, the show has really dispensed with any sense of these being real people. Some of them used to go to sexy fireman contests and eat lunch at pizzerias. Now it seems like they'd have to burn their whole outfit if they saw a minimum wage worker from the viewing deck of their blimp. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this season we get a scene where they run out of toilet paper at a restaurant and share a stack of 50s between them to get the job done. Before I go get my hair and makeup done for the Met Gala, I've got just enough time to ask you this video's question. Of the various outfits on display this week, who gets a toot and who gets a boot? Answers in the comments below please, and the best will get circled by the Glambot next time. Either way, thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, if you can't be good, be crusty.